I was playing in a tournament in like Tingsboro. It was like the Junior Bruins versus the, it was like a team from Detroit and a team made up of like Detroit and OHL kids or Windsor kids or something like that, like to come down to Boston and play. And these guys were like bullying everybody, and it was a real physical game. And I wanted to get out of there. Like, I was like, all right, there was a Dorchester Day in Boston.
Oh, yeah, big party.
A big party. And I was like, I got to get thrown out of this game. I got to get out of this game. So I act like a complete lunatic. And there was a referee called Gene Bender from South Boston. Yep. Remember Gene the dance machine?
Yeah, he kicked me out of the biggest high school game of my life. I've talked about it on this before.
So okay, invert that whole thought process. And Gene was like, I know what you're trying to do.
I'm not kicking you out.
I'm not kicking you out. It's Dorchester Day. You're staying. So now, no one knows that, and this is so Milbury was kind of scouting that game. I think it was Joe. Is it Joe Lyons, right? Pro Elite. I think it was like one of the Lyons brothers. Anyway, it was the Lyons brothers who ran this whole kind of tournament thing, and I run around, but I'm like playing hard, scoring. Like, I'm like, if you're from Canada, your sticker's in the end of my spleen. Like just gashing people, and there's no calls. Like, I look like, and the space that I had for this thing, guys were like, Jesus Christ.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? I'm running around like a nut. I can't get thrown out. There's no calls. So it filters through Mike Milbury, and then to my dad. And so it's like, hey, Mike Milbury, why don't you come over for a visit? And a visit was like, you go for a visit before your official visit. Like, just come over and talk and see where you are. This is when I was going out to USHL in Omaha. And I was like, all right. So Mike Milbury comes down. And the thing about Mike, great guy, bright, funny, great sense of humor. It comes off kind of stern and thing, but
dry sense of humor.
Dry sense of
really
humor.
Funny.
But what's crazy? Like Cam Neely, you just talked about Mike Milbury. Like, how gigantic are those guys?
Huge.
Like, just big old crooked weird dudes like that played, and you're like, look at all weird and crooked, like Frankenstein like, and you're like, these guys were animals. So I go for this visit with fucking Milbury. And I'm walking. I go walk around. He's got like loafers on, and he doesn't even have his boxes packed and unpacked at the office. And so he brings me around. And he's like, "Well, geez, you played really hard. I just wanted to bring you over here and introduce myself. I like what you did out there. You played really hard. You created a lot of space, and you have to play with a lot of intensity and be ferocious out there. And this is what some of the attributes that I saw and I know of you that you need to do to come here." And it looks like it was sitting. I'm with my dad, who's my best friend, like ever gets it, And I'm sitting with Milbury. We're all sitting in the office. This is exactly how it is. Milbury's there, my dad's here, and he's like, "Yeah, I need you to play ferocious. I need you to do this and do that." And he goes, "It looks like you got a bit of a sharp tongue out there too, huh?" And he kind of leans back. He's got his feet up on the desk, and I'm thinking, I'm like 17, and I'm like, I thought that was the introduction for a line. Like, all right, like now,
chirp me.
Chirp me. What do you got? And so I was like, hey, Coach Milbury, I don't have a problem with you as long as you keep your shoes on. Referring back to the time when he went up into the stands in New York, and beat this guy with a shoe.
Did your father look?
No. Dead silence. Milbury, like the oxygen comes out of the room, and I'm like, ready? Everyone, stop talking. Camera on. As long as you keep your shoes on. Silence like that, right? And so my father gives me the Peter Griffin, just like slow, and who's watched this guy his whole life play in the NHL. And so Milbury just sitting there, and it seems like an eternity, and then he lets out the best barrel laugh ever, and he's like, that's great. Well, why don't you have a great time in Omaha? Enjoy yourself. Play hard. We'll be in touch. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so you got Milbury to crack.
I got him to crack.
Yeah,
I got him
on
to crack.
on a visit.